You've been asking for this for like 2 years. So finally, here's a full RV tour. Let's take a tour around the outside. The first thing, we've got the pull-up rig set up. This isn't where we would traditionally have it. We might have it out in the grass, but this was just a real quick setup the other night for pull-ups. I've got 2 stakes on the ground over here with ratchet straps holding the rig in place. And I have the other 2 straps connected to the RV itself. This whole thing is like 20,000 pounds. And this front jack, I guess is what we call it, is super stable. So I just got that connected there. So I have plenty of room for just simple pull-ups. The other day, I had to do some heavy back squats in the morning. So I have all the weights out here and I store them underneath this because it rains all the time. So I want to keep stuff fairly dry. This is all of the bumper plates that I have. I've got a couple of other weights inside, 50-pound dumbbells, 25-pound dumbbells. I also had a rowing session yesterday morning. I had the rower out here. I just thought I would just push it right in here in case I row again later this week. Protected from the rain. It rained in the middle of the night last night, so it stays nice and safe right there. All right, let's see. That's 80. About 400 pounds of total plates, plus dumbbells, plus a sandbag. We'll show you that. So one of the nice things about being at an RV park is you have power. And so you pay for power by just renting this space. So I have a power line running to the box. It's a slow trickle charge, which is really good for the Tesla. So we've got that plugged in right over here. And we'll have to do a tour of the Tesla because this thing is the best car I've ever owned. And it's so good for what we do. I also have stall mats for when we're actually lifting. I roll this up, it goes in the back of the truck. And when I'm lifting or when I'm stretching or when I'm doing push-ups or any kind of CrossFit, I just use this one little spot and it works great. I try to find the flattest piece of ground, put the stall mat on it, and get my workout done. If I need more space, I've got 2 of those half stall mats that I can pull into the game. Let's go around this side. So we have these camping chairs, and while they are super comfortable, I don't recommend them. They don't compress down into anything small enough. You really want stuff to compress it down for when you travel. These don't compress down, and there's no cup holder. So it's actually fairly lame. But if you set it next to a table, problem solved. They work, and once these wear out, we'll get different ones for sure. My wife likes them a lot. I hate them. I try to put things under the RV, again, keep them out of the elements, make them last a lot longer. We've got a small table here, toolbox, and some storage bins, and a Yeti. Let's take a look at where we make dinner every night. So here's my well-used Blackstone. It's 2 years old and it is beat to crap, but it still works. And it cooks a pound of ground beef for me every night. So I don't need to do anything else. It does its job well, and it comes apart and travels really easily. All right, in this storage compartment, this is the only storage compartment we have outside of the garage. So there's just a hodgepodge of stuff in here. There's like RV sealant. We've got some lights that we can hang up if we want to. We've got tire covers. If we stay at a place more than a month, we'll put covers on the tires. I've got a fan, jump ropes in here, have extra grips. This is just my entire basement in 8 cubic feet. That'll work. Come on over here. When you're traveling, particularly in the South, things just need to hang to get dry. We've been spending some time in the water here. So we've got life jackets hanging here. We've got a towel hanging here. So right here is an outdoor TV. We've literally used it one time. There are people that like spend a lot of time in front of the TV outside of their RV. This just came with it, and I actually don't even have anything connected to it, but never gets used, kind of wasted space. It even crunches a little bit when I open it because it's never been opened. So if you see us on the road, this is not locked. You take the 20-inch $10 TV in there if you want. Again, more storage underneath here. This is where I store Henry's bike. When my other son Keegan and I did a triathlon, he had his bike out here. So we have his bike, I have mine, and I store those under there, again, to keep them out of the elements. When I start training for the full Ironman that I'm doing this year, that bike will get a lot more action. And now we move to the fishing section where I have fishing poles and we have a tackle box. My boys like to fish a lot, so we go fishing on every lake that we can find. It's really fun. If you've watched the channel long enough, you've seen the ice barrel. Here we go. We're in Dallas, Texas right now. It reaches the 90s every day, so I keep the thermal wrap around the ice barrel so that my Penguin cooler, which is under here, works a little bit less. Again, it's powered by the RV park. I'm not really worried about the extra power that the Penguin cooler requires. I just don't want it to be working all the time. So that's why I like the thermal cover on here. We can see. So it looks like that's some nice cold water in there. 3 minutes every day. Highly recommend it. Under here, I can put my other son's bike. Again, it rained last night. I kept it dry. Got some storage in here. Here, I've got a printer. This one is extra CrossFit gear. So The climbing rope, rings, crossover symmetry, weighted pull-ups. If I'm doing walking lunges, I'm gonna use my knee pads. If we're in a really remote place, we've got a Starlink in here. So we can get internet literally anywhere on the planet with this. But if we're in a major city, we normally don't need this. It's a teleprompter. I never use it. Behind me, you see kayaks. These are some friends' kayaks. They let us borrow them for the week. We may have to get some because this has been really fun. Up here, we have a deck. When we're in places that have sunlight right here, it's really nice to sit up here in our cushy chairs, especially in the winter, because this will stay nice and warm. This is a freezer I bought when I was freezing about 50 pounds of ice every day for the ice barrel. Refrigerators and freezers in RVs don't keep things incredibly cold. So you always have like soft ice cream. And you might know I have a small bowl of ice cream almost every night. This will keep ice cream very hard if you want it to. So we don't have anything in there right now. And this is a great way to get into my office. It's currently locked, so let's get in a different way. All right, here's the not super fun part of RV life. You have to deal with like water and sewer stuff, so it's no big deal. This back tank drains out water from the washer and dryer and only going number 1 in the back bathroom. We don't go number 2 in that bathroom, just number 1, if you know what that means. Is that right, number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's what drains out there. We've got the front drain, and this actually drains out the gray tank from like showers and the kitchen, as well as the black tank from the other bathroom. So we have 2 bathrooms in here, and that just helps me have 1 black tank to really have to maintain and pay attention to. I gotta tell you, having both hoses go into this splitter is really smart. So we have dozens of tires between the RV with 6 tires, the truck with 6 tires, the Tesla's 4 tires. I don't know how many tires that is. So I have an air compressor at all times, just in case we need to fill up. This is where our power hooks up. Inside here are all of our water controls. This is how we empty tanks as well. This is a system that controls the height of the RV, and it actually auto levels the RV. So in the olden times, like 10 years ago, you had to level your RV. Like you had to plan for it, have a level inside and do all that. When we disconnect our truck, we just push auto level, and it makes the entire RV totally level inside. I have all kinds of water controls in here. This is how I would store water. This is fresh water coming in right now. I can store 100 gallons of water in the RV. This is also a way that I can flush the black tank with water as well, and it just works. Our furnace is behind here. There is a furnace that's been used a few times, and a hot water heater right here. This holds 15 gallons of hot water. So your home hot water heater probably has 40 gallons. This is 15. You gotta watch the time in the shower. Right here, we have a 30-gallon propane tank. There's one here and there's one on the other side. This is for our furnace, but mostly for cooking. So we have plenty of propane for cooking on our stovetop, and our oven runs on propane as well. The refrigerator, if we were to lose power, can also run on propane. I have no idea how that works, but propane will make the refrigerator work. Okay, so under here we have a generator, and there is actually 2 30-gallon gas tanks in the back of the RV. I have one of them with maybe 15 gallons in it right now. I'm gonna run this generator in case we have some sort of a power situation that requires a generator. If we want to run all 3 of our ACs and we don't have a power at all, we can use a generator for that. So we actually at the CrossFit Games last year on the first night needed to run the generator to make sure that we had enough power to keep the RV cool. But generally, if we just want to run one AC or run our RV on electricity without being plugged in, I have 4 Battleborn batteries. These are 4 100-amp batteries, and they are connected to a solar array that's up on the roof. 600-watt solar panels help keep these topped off if we aren't plugged into shore power. And when we travel, these batteries will keep everything in the RV running for 12 to 18 hours. Those are really nice to have. It was an upgrade to add those. They're actually pretty expensive. Those batteries are $1,000 a piece. We're gonna head inside. Before we do that, I'll just say, the temptation is to make this place look immaculate and super clean, but it's actually gonna look a little bit lived in, like we are in the middle of a stay in Dallas. So we're gonna give you the real tour. So for example, we have sand toys and we have swimming gear just right here next to the stairs. There's not a good place to put that stuff, so it's just right there. So we have a lot of shoes. We keep a lot of the shoes down there. We'll take a tour of all of this, but I think we should actually turn around and start up in the bedroom. Walk in, walk up the stairs, and here's the master bedroom. Really simple space. Down here, I have my Normatec compression pants. So they're charging there. That's just the spot that I store them in. We've got storage, storage, storage. This is where I store lots of clothes. Those are my nice clothes, stuff I don't wear every day. I'll just say this, not my clothes. Not my clothes. Not my clothes. These are mine. Okay. just to be clear. Underwear, socks, t-shirts, shorts. We got some barbell apparel right here. That's what we've got. That's what I wear every day. So that's our bedroom. We also, in the bedroom, we have a TV. We rarely use this. In fact, there's a strap on it from when we moved. Now, you can get into the bathroom this way or from the hallway, but be careful because when you're drying off in here, you're gonna bump your elbow on everything. So you just wanna be careful. We actually have a full shower, all right? And this is also where I dry my swimming suit when I do the ice barrel. Kinda gotta be careful in the shower so you don't just bang into things. We have a full toilet with a self-lowering seat. That is an add-on that I added, which is really nice. And standard sink with all the things you'd need in a standard bathroom. It's tight, so you just have to make sure you don't like break your toes by stubbing them anywhere. This is the kitchen. It's probably the most used area of the RV, honestly. My wife loves to spend a ton of time with this right here. For me, I can't eat all of this stuff, but there's scones, there's cookies, there's baked bread. But let's focus on the amount of bananas that I have. So this is all for me. Lots of bananas, which are great. There's propane tanks outside that connect to 4 burners here and actually power the oven as well. Pretty awesome. Full microwave, and we have our full refrigerator that can run on power, that can run on propane. While we're at it, you can see, we like eggs, egg whites, primarily what I eat. I've got my fruits. Here's all the meats that I eat every day. Yogurts, a little bit of cheese, lots of rice down here. And to be honest, that's pretty much all that I eat. The rest is for everyone else. We have a freezer as well. The freezer's looking pretty sparse. All right, there's lots of cabinet space, but this is the primary cabinet that we use. We've got food up here, more food back here, just dry goods. And this is where I have all my supplements. I've got Third Z, which is my nighttime recovery, Black Label supplements, whey protein. Yeah, I use some Gatorade. I of course have all of the elements back here, beta alanine. Honestly, I think I'm pretty much done with Starbucks, so we'll be moving on to Black Rifle Coffee. Great coffee company, great coffee. That's what we've got going on in there. We've got a double sink right here, and I will show you really quick something that I use every day by a company called Cruise. This is our blender. This is our entire blender right here. If I'm putting protein powder in here, or I make bulletproof coffee in the morning, that screws on here, and that's my blender. I would obviously open it upside down, rinse it off, put that in the sink, have my protein powder, my bulletproof coffee. I'll even mix yogurt and flavoring in there as well to kind of make a yogurt shake, and it's awesome. Let's come over to our dining room. Dining room is currently being occupied by our space engineer. The Hot Wing Hero right here has his own YouTube channel, but is currently creating a lot of things right now. And at the dining room table, we also have this bench that holds all of the homeschooling stuff for the boys. And this came with chairs. We got rid of the chairs. They were pretty cheap anyway. So we have that bench. With the boy stuff, we have this, which is a weightlifting bench. So if I need to do bench press outside, I just come grab this bench and go outside and do bench press. There used to be a couple of couches here. Took those out so that the boys could have a little more space for their toys. One of the things that I do in this RV is I always wear shoes when I walk around so I don't break my toes on any of the things that might be in the hallway of the RV. We have our couches. This is nice. This is where I sit every night with Norman type boots. I mean, this is it right here. Every RV now has like these lazy man chairs. Nice on a training day, watching some Netflix or most likely YouTube at night. We use this a lot when it's cold. It is a fake fireplace, but it does blow hot air if you want heat. This is our primary heat source in the winter, which is why we don't use our furnace very much. One thing that's nice about RVs is they do think about storage. So we have storage here, storage all the way around. Really, things that we don't use often go into this storage, but we can just grab them whenever we need them. We also have an extra sleeping bunk up here. Both boys used to sleep up here. Now we use that for storage because the boys sleep back here. Here we are in the garage. In a toy hauler like this, a lot of people haul motorcycles or ATVs back here. This is where we haul a lot of our gear. First of all, we have a ski erg right here that is parked right in front of the washer and dryer that's stackable. And if we come down below, we have a beanbag and our big boy Chip here just chilling out on his beanbag. Back over here, we have a bathroom that's primarily used by the boys. We use lots of hooks for storage. All the boys' jackets, a little more storage on top of the dressers. Over time, you just find that you kind of collect more stuff. Like this is Nerf guns and footballs and basketballs. This is where the boys sleep. This is a bin for dog food. And below that, I've got some extra weights on the floor. All right, so back here behind me, I usually store the rower I break it down into 2 parts and it stores right there. And then I've got the bike erg here as well. Got my 30-pound wall ball, 70-pound dumbbell back in there. I've got my chair for my standing desk right here, but this is where I do a lot of recording. This is where we do the podcast. And I do all of my work right here. So under here, we've got more storage. I store my backpack under here. This is just a bunch of computer gear, like leftover wires and cords and stuff like that. 150-pound med ball, which I will be using later today. And I'll use all of this for storage at various times. And finally, we've come full circle where we can just walk out this back onto the deck. It's not a bad situation, right? So when we're traveling, we've got to pack up everything that you saw outside and it's got to come inside this space. And I just put it together like a jigsaw puzzle and I strap everything down so it doesn't move around. Every once in a while I forget to strap something down and it falls off. Like, you know, we might have like detergent fall off. That's happened. And all of it is under the maximum weight for this particular RV. I know this RV's empty weight, and I know what it weighs with all of our gear in it. And every once in a while, we'll actually drive onto a cat scale just to make sure we're within the weight maximums for the RV. So are you ready to live this lifestyle, to sell everything and have just a teeny storage unit with the rest of your belongings? Otherwise, everything is with you all the time. It's 90% amazing, 10% terrible. Like some days, you're literally bumping into things or stepping on things and everything's just a giant mess. Other days you're like, wow, I mean, I'm looking out at a lake that I'm gonna go do a 1,000-meter swim in right now because that's part of my programming today. So there are lots of perks, some drawbacks, but overall, really enjoying this lifestyle. There you have it. If you have questions about any of this, just leave a comment below and we'll get back to you. Remember, your best days are ahead of you. Get bolder, not older. See ya.